take the same value of negation P. So after taking these values, what we are going to do? So we are going to expand these values. So negation PRP or negation Q. So by what law we are getting? By commutative law we are getting this particular thing, that is negation P or PRQ or negation P, sorry, neg, P or QR are equal to PRQ. That is the going to implement over here. That is we are going to, and by applying that particular thing, it became negation PRP or Q. So negation PRP is equal to T. So which is already there in our laws, right? So T or negation Q is becoming T. Okay. So this is our LHS side. Similarly, we have to draw the conclusion towards our RHS side. Again, the laws and apply over here. When we are trying to apply those things, our RHS became P implies Q is equal to negation P R Q. So here negation P, so negation P R Q, here we are applying. So again we are applying double negation over here. So initially we got LHS is equal to T, and now we got RHS is equal to also T. Both are logically equivalent when we are applying laws. Clear? Mark clear? This particular probability is clear? How we are doing for both the cases? Clear? Most of the people have done, but still if anyone is in dilemma, that is how you have to apply. So when you are not having any simplification or any law to be applied, you have to go for simplification and you have to go for substituting the values. Okay. So compulsory, but compulsory you have to mention by applying what law you are getting that particular conclusion. Without applying any law, if you are trying to draw the conclusions, then it is of no use. You will be awarded with 0 marks because you have not applied any law over there. So even if you are trying to write all these points, but if you are not writing these particular laws, how you are applying, then your proof is not also going to be validated perfectly. Okay. So compulsory you have to mention by applying which law you are getting this particular conclusion. Right. So next, this one. So take this particular problem. So what is the question and what is the answer? Just tell me the answer. What is our question and what is our answer? Just tell me. First write the question. What is your LHS value and what is your RHS value? So which is your LHS value and which is your RHS value? According to the given numbers. According to the given numbers, which is LHS, which is RHS? Which number is LHS, which number is RHS? Which number is LHS and which number is RHS? Hmm? Which number is LHS and which number is RHS? Out of 1 and 2, which one is LHS, which one is RHS? 1 is your LHS, from which we have to get the conclusion of 2, that is PRQ. Okay. So we have to simplify this complete entire given statement and we have to get the conclusion of PRQ. That is our question and answer. Right? First write the question, then tell me what you have to do in order to get the solution. What is your LHS side is indicating and how you need to convert it into the form of RHS. Yes. So check with your question going to be, sorry, are the values with R or are the or and? Check with the values within brackets how the values are represented within braces. So first braces P and Q, right? So second one is also negation P and Q. Next one is also P and negation Q. But in between we are having R symbols, right? So first convert your and symbols into your R symbols, then you can go for your solution. Okay. One by one variable or you can go with your entire thing, convert the values and give the solution as PRQ. Shall I show it on the screen? You are already having this question. You have done in the classroom. You have already done. Then tell me how you are going to apply. Right? So with these two values, P and Q and negation P and Q. So what we can take from those two things? 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 But just check. Our intention is to get this kind of solution. Whatever the law that we can apply, that we can, or whatever is suitable that you can apply. But our intention is to get the solution in the form of P and Q, that is PRQ, which is equivalent to this particular entire LHS side. Right. So for that, what I am doing, I am applying first distributive law. So what is distributive law is saying? Distributive law. Just check with your notes and tell me what is distributive law is saying. Distributive law చెప్పాలి. What is distributive law? PRQ, PRQ, PRQ వచ్చింది. నెక్స్ట్ అండ్ ఉందా ఆర్ ఉందా? డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటివ్ లా విత్ ఆర్ చెప్పండి. It is available in your notes. If you are available, just tell me what is distributive law. చెప్తారా? PRQ చెప్పండి. You are having distributive law with the help of 3 variables or 2 variables? 3 variables. Okay, fine. Tell me what you are having in distributive law. PR, Q and R implies PRQ and పిఆర్ ఆర్ అదే ఉందా? అదే ఉందా వేరే ఉందా? Everyone is having the same law, right? So PR R. Okay. So try to apply that particular distributive law. Okay. So here it is. P, Q values, check with your P and Q values. We have to apply it for two variables only. So which is by P and Q. So P is complete P and P or negation P value. Q is we are coming, or P and negation Q. This is my application. Okay. So what I am trying to apply? I am trying to apply this particular entire thing I am drawing. So here I am having P or negation P, Q. So here I can take from these two values, I can take Q as common. I have taken it. P or negation P I am keeping as it is. P or negation P and Q. This is my P value or Q value. So how it is going to be converted? So by distributive law, I am taking my Q outside, that is in common I am taking P or negation P. What is P or negation P value? P or negation P, what the value it is going to give us? T, right? And Q. T and Q. This I am simplifying and writing T and Q or P and negation Q, right? So T and Q, what is the value that I am going to get? What is the value that I am going to get if I am going to T and P or T and Q? What is the value that you are going to get? If you are going to apply it for T and Q or T and P, what you are going to get? With the help of your identity law, what you will be getting? T and Q you will be getting it as Q. If it is P, you will be getting it as P. If it is Q, you will be getting it as Q. Q or P and negation Q. Okay. So this value we are getting, right? So then again, what we have to do? We have to go for expansion. It is in the form of again P or PRQ value, right? So then again go with the help of distributive law. So what you will be getting? QRP and Q and negation Q. So what you will get? Q and negation Q is going to be again T. So we need QRR. QRR, which is again by distributive law or by identity law, what we can write? QRR, we can write it as QRR Ninkalar approach. So it is in the form of two variables. QRR, we can write it in the form of PRQ. PRQ anna QRP anna QRR anna whatever. So which I am writing in the form of PRQ and T. Right? So then I am getting PRQ. So which is my RHS side. This one. Okay. So first apply, we are taking Q in common, right? So PR negation P, we are making it as T by negation law, that is PR negation P is equal to T with the help of our negation law, and Q we are writing, and we are simply, right? So we are getting this particular answer at the end. Clear? Apply whatever the laws that are possible for this particular given statement and get the conclusion. Clear? This one? Right. So now can you do for this one? That is fourth one. Question is visible to everyone? Question is visible? Negation P and negation Q and R, Q and R, P and R implies, that is double implies R. So try to eliminate the values of P and Q and get the value of only R. Try to eliminate P and Q. Okay, how you can eliminate? Either you can go with the identity law or you can go with some other law so that you can eliminate your P and Q values, which is equal to either 1 or either T. So that should be your solution. and finally you will be getting your R value. Okay, either you have to 1 or T, whatever you are writing, your answer should be 1 or T with and. Then you will be getting your solution as R. Try to draw the conclusion. See, when you are applying your laws, one can do it in 2 to 3 steps or one can do it in 3 to 4 steps. That depends on how you are applying your laws. So one can apply multiple, one is going to apply multiple laws in the same line, or step by step they will be doing. That depends on how well you have studied your laws or how well you are finished. It's how you are splitting your values. How you are splitting your values. First step what you are doing. First step what you are doing, what you are keeping. By is there any chance of applying distributive law over there? First answer to my question, then you can proceed. Is there any chance of applying distributive law over there? Chances are there. How you can apply the distributive law over there? Check with your two values, that is whatever the values that you are having towards. See, first take your complete LHS into two parts, LHS and RHS, right? Assume that these are two, with these two parts, can we convert these two terms into the form of this particular thing? These two terms can be converted into this particular thing. Anything is there in common in these two terms? Anything is there in common? Anything is there? R is there. So what we need to get? P, Q and R, three terms. Here also we are having P, Q and R, right? So try to get, so simple solution is and or will remain same. So what we need to get? I said already, I have given you the hint. So how we are going to make it as TR1? You are having negation P and negation Q value over here, right? And P and Q value over there. So how we are going to convert these two values into one? Can we do that? P or Q or negation P and negation Q. Can we make it into the form of T? Is it possible to make? Is it possible to make? Possibility unda leda? Chances are there. How can we do that? P or negation P is equal to T వస్తుంది. లేదా క్యూఆర్ నెగేషన్ క్యూ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు టీ వస్తుంది. సో బట్ హియర్ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ విత్ టూ వేరియబుల్స్, పిఆర్క్యూ negation P or negation Q. So these two values has to be equal to T. అది ప్రూవ్ చేయాలి. అర్థమైందా? త్రీ వేరియబుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి రమ్మా. పిక్యూఆర్ ఉంది, అండ్ ఆర్ ఈస్ కామన్, దట్ ఈస్ అవర్ సొల్యూషన్. ఓకే, బోత్ సైడ్స్లో ఉంది. సో ఇక్కడ చెక్ చేసినా ఇక్కడ అండ్ ఆర్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ చెక్ చేసినా కూడా ఆర్ కామన్ వచ్చేస్తుంది, బయట వచ్చేస్తుంది. P and Q in within one bracket and R is at the end. That is sure. Okay. So according to our distributive law, we can make these changes, and finally our answer has to be T and R. T and R. Adi ravali. Sorry. Negation P and negation Q. P and Q. These two values has to give the solution as 1. Adi hint. Okay. So within 4 steps or 5 steps, you can conclude your answer. Can you do that? Try at least. Can you try? Negation Q and R, Q and P and R. Step. First step is according to distributive law, we have written the given question into the form of that particular thing. What is our second step? So we need to take out the common thing outside. Okay. So for that, what we are going to do? So which is in the form of completely and position, right? Negation P and negation Q and negation R. That we can write. So according to which law that we could write? According to which law we can write P and Q and R P R Q. P and Q or P R Q, according to which law we can write? Associative or De Morgan's, some other law. Applying which law we can write P R Q or P and Q and R. మా లాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ ఉంటేనే మనం కొంచెం ముందుకెళ్తారు. చెక్ విత్ యువర్ అసోసియేటివ్ లా. వాట్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ యువర్ అసోసియేటివ్ లా? అసోసియేటివ్ లా చెక్ చేయాలి. వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గివింగ్? PRQ, is it available with 3 variables or 2 variables? 3 or 2? PRQR, right? So what you are supposed to do? That Q and R is equal to P and Q and R. We can write, right? So this is P value, Q value, R value, and Q and R undi ikkada. P and Q and R. If you are going to write, so here we can write and R will be common. So we are going to do the process with negation P and negation Q and Q or P value. According to our associative law. First do that. So what we are going to do? We are going to write it as negation P and negation Q and R, or Q or P have done. Next, apply again. What can we apply? Distributive law we have successfully applied. Associative law is also successfully applied. Then again try to apply with distributive law. How you can distribute these things, that is PQ. How you can split the values again. Again how you can split your values or how you can substitute your values. ఈ అసోసియేట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటివ్ లో అప్లై చేయండి. ఏమొస్తుంది ఇక్కడ క్యూఆర్పి రాస్తున్నాం కదా ఇందాక. క్యూఆర్పి అన్న పిఆర్క్యూ పిఎన్క్యూ. రైట్ సైడ్ వాల్యూ విల్ చేంజ్. Visible? Why is it visible? Just check with your values. This is my question. This is my question, that is negation P and negation Q and R are Q and R or P and R implies R. That is my question. Okay, final answer is this one. So for that what I am doing, I am applying my distributive law. I am applying my distributive law. So what it is giving, negation P and negation Q and R or Q or P and R. Okay, this one I am summarizing and writing. Okay, these values are summarized and written as according to distributive law. This is what we have written. Then what we are doing again, this step we are elaborating. This P and negation Q and R. This is how we are writing. We are writing with the help of associative law. That is P and Q and R. That is P and Q and R is equal to P and Q and R. So here what we are having, P and Q and R is there. How we are writing? P and Q and R we are writing. For what purpose? Our intention is to get the solution of only R. Okay. So what is our intention? According to our intention, we are making it as P and Q and R is equal to P and Q and R. We have, so when I am trying to apply, so negation P and negation Q and R are here I am changing the values. That is I am reversing my values because I need to get P, R, Q and R values. Okay. So if I am going to get P or Q values, then I can go for either T or one value I can get. So for that purpose I am interchanging or I am applying the commutative law and I am trying to get my values into this particular format. It is negation P and negation Q, negation P and negation Q and R, Q. Okay, and R. R is remaining same. Okay, so here if I are going to check this one, P R Q is there, P and PRQ we have converted. If you are going to check again in Keen, here we are having negation of PRQ, negation of PRQ, and this side I am having PRQ. Okay, so if I am going to do this particular thing, that is negation PRQ or PRQ, what I am going to get? Negation of P and P, negation of PRP. What I am going to get? Negation of PRP. What I am PRP. What I am going to get? T. Negation of P and P. What I am going to get? Again T. Right. So I have already said and I have, so this became and R. T and R. If you are going to get T and R, what it will become? Simply R you will be getting, right? So is it our answer? Is this is our answer? R is our answer or not? Okay. So when you are having three values, okay. So when you are having three values P, Q, R, and two values are already given in negative. That is, negation P is given, negation Q is also given, right? So what is our intention? Make these two values, that is P or Q. P or Q is there, negation P or Q. So we have to get these values. Okay, either these values are P or Q and negation of P or Q. Okay, right. So when the question is given, try to understand what the examiner is testing and go for the solution. Question lone answer undi, but how you need to get that thing, you have to apply it in proper way. Okay, so four rules makes the, that is four laws will make you complete. Those four laws are your distributive law, associative law, commutative law, and De Morgan's law in some cases. Okay, so try to remember these four laws properly and perfectly, with and with R. With both the cases, if you are going to remember perfectly, you will be easily able to answer logical equivalences questions. Okay, four laws ఎక్కువ కూడా అవసరం పడదు. Distributive, commutative, De Morgan's, associative. Okay, four mandatory, compulsory. First check for these four. Probability ఉంది, అప్లై చేయండి. Probability లేదు, go for simplification. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ ఈ ఫోర్ లాస్ అప్లై చేయడానికి ట్రై చేయాలి. ప్రాబబిలిటీ ఉంది అంటే అప్లై చేసేయాలి. లార్జ్ ఈక్వేషన్ ఆల్సో డోంట్ పానిక్. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ది ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ ఫస్ట్ సిమిలర్, ట్రై టు అప్లై ఫర్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటివ్. ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ నాట్ సిమిలర్, గో ఫర్ simplification, simplify and then apply, right? Right. So now my question is given, answer is also given. Okay, so what is the answer? We have to show that this complete thing is a tautology. Write the question. Question is already available. Same question or different question? But same question you have practiced in your class. Yes, similar question or same question you have practiced. Sir, class lo chesara, or we are trying it for the first time? Have you done in the class similar kind of questions? So first write the question, then go for proving with the help of your last only. Don't go for truth table. By using truth tables, you are very perfectly continuing and doing those things. But with the help of logical equivalences only, go for the solution. Okay, as the equation is long, that is large, we have made it or simplified it into the form of 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so first you can go for the first one, then you can go for adding 2, then you can apply for 3, then you will be getting your solution. is first solve the first equation, then go for second equation, then go for third equation, then go for the complete solution. Okay. When you are solving your first equation, you will be getting one term. Second one, you will be getting another term. Third one, you will be getting term. Okay. So when you are adding these three or when you are merging these two first two, you will be getting your solution. That is tautology or not. Change. Tautology. Tautology or not అని ఇస్తే యూ కెన్ గో ఫర్ యువర్ ఆప్షన్ దట్ ఈస్ బ్లైండ్గా ఏదో ఒకటి అప్లై చేసి రావట్లేదు అని చెప్పేసి చెప్పడానికి ఉంది. సో హియర్ దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు బి ది కేస్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు కంపల్సరీ ప్రూవ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టాటాలజీ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. ఆప్షనే లేదు. So when you are applying your equation on first term, so what it is in the form of P and Q. P and Q. P and Q అంటే ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది చెప్పండి. Which law you can apply? P and Q. Ma? P and Q and R or P and Q are R. P and Q are R ఉంది. Which law can be applied according to the three variables? Ma? Distributive law apply చేస్తున్నారా? Okay. After applying, what is this solution? Distributive or De Morgan, sir? But distributive or De Morgan's check. Hey, distributive apply చేస్తున్నారా? Distributive apply చేస్తున్నారా? Distributive apply చేసి ఏం చెప్తున్నారమ్మా? క్లియర్. డి మోర్గన్ కదా చెప్పాలి. డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటివ్ చెప్తున్నారు. అదే డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటివ్ అప్లై చేసి ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? ఏ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటివ్ డి మోర్గనా చూడు మళ్ళా. Hey, you are applying distributive or De Morgan's. సుబ్బన్న ఏది? డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటివ్ అప్లై చేసి ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? అది ఆల్రెడీ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ అయ్యి ఉంది. ఇంకా మళ్ళీ నువ్వు చేసేది ఏముంది దానిలో? ఇంకా మళ్ళీ సపరేట్ చేసి ఏం చేస్తావు? ఓన్లీ వన్ అడిగిన నేను. ఫస్ట్ది చేయండి అన్నాను. But don't go for the complete equation, go for only one. చెప్పరమ్మా అయిపోయినా? ఏమొచ్చిందిరమ్మా? Distributive or De Morgan's? డి మోర్గన్స్ లా చేస్తే ఏమొచ్చింది చెప్పండి. Negation. First apply De Morgan's law, then go for double negation. You will be getting, just tell me. First apply De Morgan's, then go for double negation. You will get your answer. What is anyone done? What is the answer for first term? What is the answer? First apply De Morgan's. What is the term? that I want. Whether you have applied successfully or not, then I came to know that. అప్పుడు వేస్తే పోతుంది కదా, ఆల్రెడీ ఇచ్చినాడు కదా నీకు, డబల్ నెగేషన్ ఇచ్చినాడు అక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ, అన్నిటికీ నెగేషన్ ఉంది. తీస్తావు, తీస్తే ఎట్లా వస్తుంది, తీస్తే ఎట్లా వస్తుంది, ఒక దగ్గర హ్యాండ్ వస్తుంది, ఒక దగ్గర హ్యాండ్ వస్తుంది. అప్లై చేసిన, అప్లై చేస్తే ఏమొచ్చింది, నీ వర్గన్స్లో నెగేషన్ పిఆర్క్యూ, ఇక్కడ ఇది ఆర్ వస్తుంది అంతే సార్. ఆర్ పెడితే అన్ని వస్తుంది కదా సార్, అని పెట్టినా సార్. పిఆర్క్యూ అండ్ ఆర్ రావాలా, మరి అలాగే సరే నేను చెప్తాను చూడండి, మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చూడండి. పిఆర్క్యూ అండ్ ఆర్ రావాలి దేనికి, అక్కడ మేడం వాళ్ళ చూడు, మన పర్మిషన్. పిఆర్క్యూ అండ్ ఆర్ రావాలి. నెగేషన్ పోతుంది కదా, నెగేషన్ పోతే వాల్యూ మారింది కదా. నెగేషన్ పోయినప్పుడు ఓన్లీ పిఎన్ నెగేషన్ ఆఫ్ పి, నెగేషన్ ఆఫ్ క్యూ, నెగేషన్ ఆఫ్ నెగేషన్ చెప్పాలమ్మా ఏమొచ్చింది వాల్యూ, మా వాల్యూ చెప్పాలి, డిస్కషన్ కాదు. టీమ్ వర్క్ అని పడితే ఎన్ని స్టెప్లు ఎందుకు వచ్చినాయి మళ్ళీ, రెండిట్లో అయిపోయింది, రెండే స్టెప్పులు అయిపోయింది నాన్న, అంత ఎందుకు సారీ. నీ ఈక్వేషన్ ఏది ఇదే కదా, ఇదే కదా, నెగేషన్, నెగేషన్ పి అండ్ ఇదే కదా, ఆ టీమ్ వర్కర్స్ ఏమంటుంది చెప్పు, నెగేషన్ పి ఆర్ డబల్ నెగేషన్ పి చేసిన వర్కర్స్ అప్లై చేస్తే నీకు ఆర్ అండ్ అయింది, అండ్ ఆర్ అయింది కదా, డబల్ నెగేషన్ అప్లై చేసినావు కదా, ఇది అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ చెయ్యి, ఇది చెయ్యి, దీనికి చెయ్యి, ఇది మొత్తానికి చెయ్యి, ఇది మొత్తం ఉంటుంది కదా, ఇది వాల్యూ ఫస్ట్ టర్మ్, ఇది వాల్యూ సెకండ్ టర్మ్కి ఏది వస్తుంది వాల్యూ చెయ్యి, పిఆర్ నెగేషన్ పిఆర్ అంతే, ఇంకేంది పిఆర్ ఆర్ నెగేషన్ పిఆర్ పిఆర్ నెగేషన్ బి ఏమొస్తుంది, మరి అయిపోయింది కదా, మళ్ళీ అంతే కదా, పిఆర్ నెగేషన్ బి ఏమొస్తుంది, అంతే కదా. రైట్ అమ్మా, అమ్మాయిలు చేయట్లేదు, అది అయిపోయింది, లాస్ట్కి టీ, టీ ప్రూవ్ చేయి, డబల్ నెగేషన్, నేను నువ్వు చేసింది ఒకటే టర్మ్కి, ఒక టర్మ్ అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ప్లస్ అది కలుపుకొని సెకండ్ టర్మ్ అంటున్నా. ఇది విత్ ఇది కలుపుకొని సెకండ్ టర్మ్ అంటున్నా. మొత్తం అంతా కలిపి థర్డ్ టర్మ్ అంటున్నా. రైట్ అమ్మా. సి చూడండి, distributive law, sorry, De Morgan's law, how it is going to look like, just see, term by term, the solution is there. Otherwise, you can go for complete entire term. You will be getting it as, so final answer you will be getting it as PRQRR or negation of PRQRR. Right? So, ఈ terms వస్తాయి. So, PR negation P. So, that is our solution. So, if you are doing complete statement, you will be getting the terms as PRQRR or negation PR negation P and negation PR P and PA వస్తుంది. Right? So, that is our solution. Otherwise, was in simple, how the values are changing, R will become and will become R. Okay, check. So here the negation I am keeping as it is. So if you are trying to apply De Morgan's law, here my R is becoming, sorry, my and is becoming R and R is becoming and. Okay, so then I am again applying De Morgan's law with double negation. De Morgan's law with double negation. Okay, so which will become P or Q and R. Right? So that is my first term, which I have given you as 1, term 1, number ichcharu kada, 1. So if I am going to apply it for second term is this. So my first term solution is PRQ and R. My second term is becoming PRQ and PRQ and R. Right? So what I can do, again I can go for applying PRQ, PRQ and R, I can expand, right? So PRQ and PRR. By applying idempotent law, what it is becoming? PRQ. Any PRQ luna 1 and PRR and PRR. So how I can write? With the help of distributive law, PRQ and R again. Okay. So then I am moving on to your third term. That is my third term. Right? So negation P and negation Q or negation P and negation R. So if I am going to apply negation outside, PRQ and PRR. PRQ is there, PRR is there. Okay. So when I am applying these two, PRQ and PRR is becoming my completely PRQRR. Same P, I got the answer. So which is equal to my T. Okay. So that way you can go for the solution, or in simple you can go for the entire process of simplification. Okay. So I said you have to go for the 4 How you can write P implies Q? Negation PR Q, right? Negation PR Q you can write, right? So this is P and negation PR Q. Again, if you are simplifying it, what will be getting? P and negation P and P and Q will be getting it as your answer. Okay? So already the solutions are available. And just go for this question. This question you have to solve and get the solution as normal. These are I mean, question is Q are P and negation Q are negation P and negation Q is a tautology that you have to prove with the help of CNF, that is conjective normal form. So how the values have to be at the end? Product of sums are sum of. It has to be in the form of AND form or OR form. Hey, answer చెప్పాలి డిస్కషన్ తర్వాత how we are applying, what we are doing, and how we are converting, that matters. Okay. Ma, is it finished? Finished? Hey, ఆ క్వశ్చన్కి అంత టైం ఏంది? Ma, check with your question. Any common letters are there? Any common words? How we can convert it into the form of T? Anything is in common? Check with your question. So here the question is Q or P and negation Q or negation P and negation Q. Okay. So any term is there which is in common? Any term is there which is in common? Any term is there which is in common? ఏదైనా టర్మ్ ఉందిరా అమ్మా ఏదైనా ఉందా? So how we are supposed to do? See, Q R, what is there? So here also you are having and, here also you are having and. Okay. So what I am doing? I am taking my negation Q in common outside with and. So if I am taking those values, what is remain? P and negation P. Okay. P and negation P is remained with and negation Q. Okay. So P and negation P value. What is P and negation P value? P and negation P value ఏమవుతుంది? Huh? P and negation P value is T. T and negation Q. What is the value? T and negation Q. It is negation Q. Okay. So Q or negation Q. What is the value? Q or negation Q. What is the value? T. What is asked? What is asked? Tautology. వచ్చిందా లేదా? మళ్ళీ దానికోసం ఎందుకు అంత ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు? So first check whether you are having any common terms or not. If you are having common terms, first take them out, then go for simplification. Conflict చేయొద్దు. Okay. So which is equal to T. Close. Okay. Then DNF is sum of elementary products. So what you are going to do again, if you are having condition by condition, replace with and or negation. So again, if you are having negation, then go for the replace by using De Morgan's law. Again, you have to apply the distributive law. Okay, three laws. Sorry, two laws. One you have to go for replace with and or negation. If you are replacing with negation, go for the De Morgan's law. With De Morgan's law, again you have to go for the distributive law for getting your solution. Right. So obtain, next question, P and P implies Q. Obtain the DNF. DNF. So what is the answer? DNF, for DNF and or. DNF, how your answer will be? R తో ఉంటుందా ఆన్సర్, and తో ఉంటుందా? లాస్ట్ లో R తో ఉంటుంది, రైట్? సో ఫస్ట్ గో ఫర్ ది solution. P and P implies Q. How you can convert your P implies Q? How you can convert your P implies Q? Negation of P or Q. Okay. Negation of P or Q is there. So P and negation of P or Q is there. So ఏమవుతుంది? P and negation P and P and Q. One is becoming T, the other value you have to say. What is that value? ఇంకో వాల్యూ ఏమొస్తుంది రామా? P and negation P, T వచ్చింది. P and Q. What is our answer? What is our answer at the end? Are we going to again simplify? Or simply we are going to elaborate and leave? ఇంకా సింప్లిఫై చేస్తారా, ఎలాబరేట్ చేసి వదిలేస్తామా? సో వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు స్టాప్ ది సొల్యూషన్ వేర్ వి హ్యాండ్ ఫామ్ లో వదిలేయము, ఆర్ ఫామ్ లోనే వదిలేస్తాం, రైట్? సో వెన్ యూ ఆర్ ఎక్స్పాండింగ్ దిస్, యూ విల్ బి గెటింగ్ P and negation P or P and Q. In between we are having R symbol, that is the indication of our DNF. There we are stopping our solution. See, P and P implies Q, P and negation P or Q. Okay. So this is with the help of P implies Q is equal to negation P or Q. That we know already. So here we are elaborating this and we are writing what is the form of this particular term. Okay. So this is our elementary product. This is our sum value and this is our elementary product. Negation of P implies Q, Q and R. Negation of P implies Q and R. So which value we have to modify? Which value we have to modify? What is the value that we need to change? That is, what is we need to modify? That is condition or by condition unte marchali. So how many conditional statements are there in that given question? Only one condition is there. Okay, that is P implies Q and R. So that you have to convert first. P implies Q. How you are going to convert? Which you are going to take it as? P implies Q. So when you are applying P implies Q, what is our value? Negation of P or Q. Substitute the values, elaborate it, then you will be getting the solution. So what is our final value? Value. What is the final value? P or negation Q? And P R or Q? R. P and negation Q or P and negation R. Everyone got the same answer? We'll check with this. Negation P implies Q and R. So we are converting this term into this one we are converting negation P and Q and R. That is negation P or Q and R. So P value is this, Q value is this one. So again we are applying double negation over here. P and negation Q and P and negation Q R. So again we are elaborating it. Okay. So you will be getting P and negation Q R, P and negation R. This is our final answer. Okay. So here we are applying De Morgan's law. Here we are applying distributive law. So here applying negation, that is double negation. Right, Rama? Is convert the given term into DNF. Convert the given term into DNF. Convert this given term into DNF. P implies Q and negation of negation Q and negation P. Convert this term into DNF. Within the terms you should get R symbol. Till that procedure, till that answer, you have to compute your solution. Okay. So what is the final answer that you have to tell me? Last terms, what you are getting, the terms you just tell me. TM అంటే తెప్పించేసే TM ఉంటుంది. Hey, what is the final value? What are those two terms that you are getting at the end? Those values I need. ఇది ఫ్యాన్ ఇది ఉందా? What is the last value that you are getting? Just tell me. Anyone finished? Anyone completed? So last two terms I want. Okay. So what are those two terms? Anyone? Hey, don't discuss. Just tell me the last answer. So just wait. Anyone who has finished? Hey, anyone is there who has completed this particular solution? PPN plus Q. But just tell me what are the values that we need to split? What are the values that we need to split? How many values we need to split? How many? How many we have to split? One or two? How many values are there with conditional and my conditional? How many values are there? Try to simplify second term, that is P implies Q. So what P implies Q we are going to write? P implies Q. What is the term that we can replace? Negation P or Q. Right. So just check these two terms. Check these two terms. So here double negation is there. We can write it as P or Q. Okay. So this is and. So this complete term I am taking it as Q right now. And this is P implies Q. What I can write? This complete term I am assuming it as Q. Right. So now my term became P implies Q. How I can write? Negation P or Q. Okay. So here simply I am going to make it as negation P or Q. The complete term became negation P or Q. Simplify this one. Okay. So you will be getting final answer as negation P and negation P or negation P and Q. Okay. Final answer you will be getting it as negation P and P, that is negation P and, right, or P and Q. P and Q. It is not negation P. Okay. Final answer, that is after simplification or before simplification, that is going to be remaining. Now do it. Chesara? How many steps? 3 steps or hardly 5 steps. So first step is convert this P implies Q into negation PRQ, right? So in second step, again, this P implies Q, sorry. In next step, what you are going to do? You are going to do it as applying double negation. So you are converting it into positive terms. In third term, again you simplify P implies Q. That is negation P or this complete term. Then go for the simplifying. Okay. చేస్తున్నారా డిస్ప్లే చేసేదా సరే డౌటేనా చేస్తారా డౌట్ఫుల్లా రే ఫస్ట్ ట్రై దెన్ ఐ విల్ డిస్ప్లే మీకు ఎలా చేయాలో చెప్పినాను ఏం చేయాలో చెప్పినాను సో సింప్లిఫికేషన్ మాత్రమే మీకు వదిలినాను సింప్లిఫై చేసిన తర్వాత వచ్చే ఆన్సర్ కూడా చెప్పినాను రైట్ అమ్మ సి negation of negation Q and negation P. What I am doing? I am converting this particular P implies Q into this particular thing, that is negation PRQ. First step is done. Okay. And I am applying double negation here. For this term, I am applying double negation. Our R form or end form. Okay. Two things are applied and we got this particular terminology. That is, this entire thing is my Q value. P implies Q. Again, I am applying. So that became negation P or this particular value I got. Right. So now what I am doing? Again, I am simplifying. Negation P or negation P and negation Q. Like that I am simplifying. Okay. Go for the simplification. Right. So negation P or F and Q or Q and P. Right. So which is becoming negation P or F or P and Q. So which is again becoming negation P or P and Q. Okay. Or I can say it as negation P and negation P or P and Q. So you are copying. You are copying, values will be copied. If you are doing for simplification, you will gain something. Okay. You try to do, not to copy. Just simplification part only I have left for you. Simplify చేసేది మాత్రమే మీకు వదిలేసినాను. Ma finished. Completed everyone. Copying is done. Right. So this is related to CNF and DNF. Clear? Clear everyone? Ma, there is a question, compulsory question in normal forms. CNF, DNF, PCNF, PDNF. There will be a question, definitely. Right? So if your lucky is not that much, you will be having compulsory question from normal forms. Okay? So this is also DNF. Right. Clear so far? Connective statements, normal forms, up to here. Clear? PDNF. Shall we move on to PDNF, PCNF? Yes. Right. So there is this particular PDNF and PCNF. Okay. So what is that reason? Let us see. So when we are doing this particular and conjunctive normal forms, so it is of the form of statement formula is not unique. So whatever the statement, that formula that we are doing, no, it is not unique. So it is maybe similar to some other formula or it is identical. Unique result of a given statement formula, we involve principal normal forms. We are going for this particular principal normal forms. They are two in number, that is PCNF and PDNF, that is principal disjunctive normal forms and principal conjunctive normal forms. Normal form is, so for a given formula, an equivalent formula consisting of disjunctions of min terms, disjunction will be there of minimum terms only is known as PDNF. Minimum terms, disjunction. Hey, see, if you are not interested, you are not bothered to sit here, just you can leave, but don't disturb. Yes, boys, leave the class, but don't disturb. Right? So here, for a given formula, equivalent formula has to be in minimum terms, that is disjunctions of minimum terms is known as PDNF. Okay. So such a normal form is also called as sum of products. Okay, sum of product canonical form. Sum of product will be there, which is of minimum, which will be in the form of canonical form. That is, sum of products will be there. So for example, so if you are taking negation P and Q, or negation P and negation Q, or P and Q. So these two terms will be of principal disjunctive normal form. So minimum terms are there with products. Okay. Minimum. Okay. By using with truth tables and by using with without truth tables. So by using with truth tables, everyone is familiar and we are going to do it with ease. Okay. So for example, P implies Q is there. So for this, if you're writing PQ values, then you will be writing the minimum terms. Minimum terms. So what is the minimum term of these terms? It is P and negation Q. These two terms it is again negation P and Q. These two terms it is negation P and negation Q. Minimum terms we are going to conduct, that is we are going to take in the form of dot values over here, which is giving us the PDNF. Okay. So check for the conditional and biconditional. Again replace with and or negation. Okay, Chancellor. So you have to go for checking conditional biconditional, then apply for condition by condition. You have to apply conjunction, disjunction, and negation. So applying the negation. So when you are applying negations, again go for De Morgan's law as usual, and followed by distributive law. De Morgan's distributive law is very important when you are dealing with your normal forms. Okay. So then any elementary product which is a contradiction is dropped terms. That is, min terms are obtained by disjunction of introducing the missing section through the complement law. That is, P and negation P implies T. So if you are having only two terms, that is P and Q is there. So you are elaborating those things. How you are supposed to elaborate? You are supposed to elaborate with the help of T, that is truth values. So how you are supposed to put P and negation P, or Q and negation Q, or P or negation P, or Q or negation terms, you are going to elaborate your answer. So identical min terms appealing in the disjunctive normal forms are then deleted. So if you are getting identical terms, then you will be deleting. Okay. So if you are not getting any identical terms, then you will be going for the solution. Okay. So these are the steps that which we are going to follow. See, so here one question is there which is of P implies Q. So in P implies Q, what we are doing? So this is of only two terms. Only as negation of P or Q. Right. So which is of only one sentence. That is only one word. So in order to elaborate it, what we are doing? Q can be written as Q and negation Q. P can be written as P. And again, we are going for elaboration. Okay. P and negation P is equal to T, that we are keeping things. Okay. So T can be written as P and negation P, or Q and negation Q. So for P, we are keeping Q value. For Q, we are keeping P value. Okay. So then again, we are elaborating those values. Okay. So this derives as the PDNF. Okay. So here, instead of negation PRQ, what we are writing, negation PRQ can be written with the help of and T, Q with the help of and T, right? So these values here we are substituting. For P we are substituting Q. For Q we are substituting P. Again we are elaborating terms. With minimum terms we are summarizing. That is our final solution for PDN. Right? Clear? So with or without. So for this question, try with without truth table. P double implies Q. Draw the or construct PDNF for P double implies Q. Construct P double implies Q. That is PDNF for P double implies Q. They construct PDNF for P double implies Q. Final answer I want. Is complete that particular answer. Go for next session. మేడం నోట్స్ పంపించేస్తున్నాను. ఓకే మీకు మ్యాచ్ అయిందా? మెయిల్ పెట్టాడు. నా దగ్గర ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న నోట్స్ నేను కాలేజ్లోనే ఉంది, అది తీసుకురాను. జస్ట్ రికరెన్స్ రిలేషన్స్ కదా వాళ్ళకి, ఇదే అట్లా అట్లా పోతుంది. రికరెన్స్ అంటే ఆడి బ్రెయిన్లో పోవాలంటే టైం పట్టింది. అదే కావాలండి. సరే రేపు చెప్తున్నాను. సిలబస్ పెట్టేయండి, మీ దగ్గర ఉంది పెట్టు. ఓకే అంతే, అవ్వాలి అంతే కదా. యూనిట్ ఉంది అంతే కదా. ఒకసారి ఆ మేడం తెలియదా, మేడం ఒకసారి రమ్మని చెప్పు. లేదంటే లేవా, తీసుకోలే లేవా.
Start. శాస్త్రం ఎవరైతే చెందుతారు వాళ్ళిద్దరు వదిలేసి రిమైనింగ్ ఎవరైతే లేరో వాళ్ళకి పెట్టమని మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి డైరెక్ట్గా. మళ్ళా మన బదులు రావాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు మనకి. నేను అందులో పెడతాను. 1 or 2 numbers పెట్టండి లేదంటే China. Ranking chart.